Hey guys, it is super sunny right now, but we are at brunch and today we're gonna go do a bit of thrifting. Thrifting in London is a little bit different than in Canada. The thrift stores here are called charity shops and they're more they're a lot smaller. And there's a lot of vintage stores here, but the vintage stores tend to be higher in price. I'm doing this because I'm covering the sun. So we're going to a little of both today. We're going to go mostly in the East End. I think I'll do the West End in another video. But yeah, I'll take you guys along and show you what I get in them. I forgot to mention, I'm going to try and tell you about each thrift store in a little bit of a structured way so you guys can compare and decide if this is somewhere you want to go. I'll go over the size of the store, the general style of the clothing that they stock, and the general prices that you'll expect to see. The first store we went to was the East End thrift store. This store is the most far east and it was actually the closest location to me. It's a little bit sketchy. You have to kind of turn down this little alleyway to get to the store and it's kind of at the back of a building. The store had 2 levels. On the day that we went, there were some racks outside. Also was really discounted items, and then inside there was 2 levels, and I would say the second level has slightly more expensive / branded items. Also, it's worth noting that this store sometimes runs sales where you can buy one, get one for £1, or the entire store is £1 off. They're quite popular from what I've seen on Instagram and people line up for them. I'm not sure if they would have kind of like the regular price items or if they bring out kind of special stock for that sale. Worth following them on Instagram if you're in the area so you can get to know when the sales are happening. The prices here are generally on the low end, for as low as £1 from the bins outside, generally £10 for a sweatshirt or a crew neck, light jackets from £15 to £25, jean jacket was £15, tracksuits £10, overalls were £20, and there was a few pairs of Levi's jeans for £30, but there were a lot of more worn and used items for £5 or less. I would say that the style of the store is definitely more streetwear or casual wear, with more like oversized jackets, light jackets, tracksuits, and a lot of athleisure. Generally, I would say that things here were on the lower quality end and more worn than other thrift stores. There were definitely some items that were like extremely worn, like you could see a lot of fraying on the edges, but I think is well reflected in the price. Nate tried on this blue jacket, which was a pretty cute style, but unfortunately the quality was pretty bad, so we decided not to get it. I decided to get this dress shirt by Pierre Cardin. It's a bit long, but the material is really nice and loose, and I think it hung really nicely on my body, and I can just see myself wearing it as a cover-up, or just with shorts and a nice pair of knee-high boots. And this was £10. And then upstairs we both found this bomber that we both loved, but it was £85, so we decided not to get it, but it was really thick, really good quality. It's definitely a vintage item, but I think this is a store that you definitely have to dig a bit to find gems, but it's definitely worth looking into, especially if you're looking for some of the items that I mentioned. The next store we went to is called Oxfam. This is a chain of charity shops in London, and we went to the location in Bethnal Green. Since it's a charity shop, the stock is very based on what people have donated recently. The store isn't too big and it has a mixture of everything, so the clothing options are limited, but if you're looking for books, shoes, or homeware, there's a lot of that as well here. Prices were pretty cheap. Most of the clothing was under £10 and was a better and newer condition than those at East End Thrift. I would say the style of the clothing that they have here is definitely an older adult. The clothing seems mostly be from older women and men. I found this pair of auto shoes here that seemed pretty new and was actually my size, but it was just a bit too tall for me, the heel. They were only £15, but I decided not to get them. I also got another men's dress shirt that me and my boyfriend both could wear. That was £8.95. It looked like just like a really nice casual dress shirt. I know that I just got a dress shirt, but this one just fit really nicely on both me and him, so we decided to get it, and it was only £8.95. The next store we went to is also a charity shop. It's called SCT Charity Shop, and I think this is also a chain as well. I didn't really plan to go to this shop, but I saw that it was just down the street from the last one, so I decided to take a look. This place was about half the size of Oxfam, but it was jam-packed with clothes. There was also a lot of homeware, shoes, and books as well, but definitely majority clothes. I noticed in this shop in particular, there were a lot of recognizable high street brands here like H&M, Banana Republic, Zara, and other stores Bershka, and generally seemed to be donated from a young working professional or a younger audience compared to the last store. Prices here varied largely, generally from £5 to £20. They seem to price things by how long it's been there, so I think if an item has been there in store for longer, it gets cheaper and cheaper. The store is generally for women, I would say. There wasn't any men's clothing compared to the other two that we just went to. Here I found an extra small Zara blazer that felt almost new for only £8. I've been missing a lot of these basic clothes since there was only a limited amount of clothing I could bring from Canada, so I definitely needed to restock my wardrobe with basic kind of everyday wear and office wear. I also found a white shirt. I know I'm buying a lot of shirts today, which I thought would be nice later under things. I don't really have a nice white shirt that I could like wear under a sweater or just like over top a sports bra or under a blazer or something like that. And then we made our way further west towards Shoreditch and Brick Lane to Beyond Retro. They have 3 locations in London, and we went to the one on Cheshire Street. This place was massive, and you could probably find anything you're looking for in the store. They had a large selection of leather jackets, jean jackets, sweatshirts, everyday t-shirts, anything that you can think of. I noticed the pricing here definitely got significantly higher compared to the charity shops and the first thrift store that we went to. This is definitely more of a vintage store. For a reference on pricing, leather jackets were around £42, the Levi's jeans here were around £46, sweatshirts were £27, and in the back there were some jackets and jeans that were $20 to $15, but those seem to be in a low porous condition or were styles that weren't popular. So I think here they might also date things, so the longer something has been here, it's moved to the back and it's cheaper. The style here is definitely a mixture of everything. I would say it's more of a kind of just generally vintage hipster style, if that makes sense. It's hard to classify when it's such a mixture. But honestly, when the store is so big, I lose the motivation to dig through it all. I mainly just looked in areas where I was looking for something like the jackets and shirts. Here I got this jean shirt, which seems pretty basic, but it's rare that I find a shirt that fits my shoulders perfectly. Usually my shoulders are too wide and I need to size up, but then there would be a lot of space in the armpit area, so I got this because I thought it would be a cute full denim look with some jeans and boots, and this shirt was $14.95. I tried on this jean jacket too, but I felt like it was a little too ordinary. It wasn't oversized, but not a great fit either. I think I was looking for something a little more vintage, and this was neither very vintage nor very new. They also had a huge selection of plaid shirts, so I tried on a few to find the best colorway and fit, and I found one that once again me and my boyfriend both liked and that we could share. After Beyond Retro, we made our way into the Brick Lane, Shoreditch area where there is a ton of vintage stores. By this time, we were exhausted from shopping and just walking, so we stopped by a cafe in the area before we headed to the next place. The next place we went to was Brick Lane Vintage. Now, all the stores in this area, definitely the pricing is a lot higher than you would find in a regular charity shop. These stores are definitely more curated. So for Brick Lane Village, the store is compact, but there's a lot of stuff in here. There's 2 floors. The first floor had trench coats, flare pants, track pants, some sweatshirts, and then downstairs they had more tracksuits, sportswear. There were also some pantsuits that were kind of cute. But everything at the store was in pretty good condition, some a little more worn than others, but nothing that I would say I personally would consider very old and not purchasable. I would say that there was definitely some things in the East End thrift store that I wouldn't think that people would put for sale. The prices here vary vastly based on the condition, quality, and brand. For example, there were some Burberry trench coats at the door that were $180, but then there was also some light non-branded trenches that were $35. There were some really cute trousers that looked really in style right now, those flare kinds and also like boot cut kinds that were $45. There were vintage jeans and Levi's for $32. I found this cute vintage suit set that was $85, but I was just not really in the mood to try it on. The general style of this store, I think, is definitely a bit more streetwear, but there are nice vintage pieces mixed in, like the suits, the trench coats. So here I actually got a trench coat since I was looking for a nice light coat. I love the color of it and that it's really light and fluid. It's originally priced at $35, but there was actually a stain on it, and I was gonna ask them to see if they thought it was something that they could take off or if it was permanent, and they said that they can't, there's no way to know, so they gave me a discount of £10, so I got it for $25 actually. The only issue with this trench coat was that it had shoulder pads, so I think it'll look perfect once I remove it. Next, we went to a few more in the area, like this one that sold secondhand streetwear. But by this point, I was just getting really tired, and the prices were getting a lot higher and in comparison to the charity shops I went to this morning. So I was getting less and less motivated to dig through all the items, only to find a piece I kind of liked but was a little bit overpriced, I felt. Anyways, that is the end of my little thrifting adventure. If I missed any thrift stores that you think I should check out in the East End, let me know. I am also planning to go to the West End sometime soon, so let me know if you have any recommendations for stores there. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Paint the night, spinning our favorite song. You take